You got a whole lot of shit. You said so yourself. All the time. Every day.
It's a bad one, guys. It's a bad one. Before the Devil Knows You're Dead has to be one of the most bland and boring movies I've ever watched. It is an American thriller film from 2007.
What?
Directed by Sidney Lumet. That's been completely placed in the wrong genre. This is an outright drama through and through, except for about 10 minutes of thriller at the beginning and end, and yet it borrows a lot from other movies. Hey, look at Pulp Fiction. That movie had a lot of time jump shenanigans, and that was successful. I'll borrow some of that. Hey, 300 was really dark and moody. I better make sure to desaturate the colors in my movie. I haven't watched any of Sidney Lumet?
What the fuck's a Lomi?
I haven't watched any of his other movies, nor will I, so I can neither confirm nor deny this, but it feels like he borrowed bits and pieces from better directors without the talent to back it up. And if I'm wrong, well, what are you gonna do? The movie stars a couple names that I've heard before, which is the reason I decided to watch it. There's Philip Seymour Hoffman that I remember from Hunger Games, Ethan Hawke, the dad from Sinister, there's Michael Shannon. I wasn't sure if it was him at first because he acts so reserved, but no, that's Zod from Man of Steel. There's also the actress who plays Aunt May in Spider-Man. I honestly didn't notice that while I was watching. It really makes you wonder how this movie was such a big turd. And this goes without saying, but I can't talk about this movie without spoiling it, so from here on out I will be moving into spoiler territory. However, you will not be missing much, trust me. The premise of the movie is essentially two brothers agree to rob their parents' jewelry store in order to make a quick buck. They're both in need of money and figure this is the best way to go about getting it. Sure. Obviously, things don't go according to plan, the robber gets killed, their mom gets shot, and eventually he dies, and everything spirals out of control. And doesn't this premise sound kind of interesting? If only it was that easy, my sweet summer child. Let me just give you a quick rundown of the movie. The movie opens up with our blonde protagonist and his wife bumping uglies, and an extremely awkward and gratuitous sex scene that will never let me look at Aunt May the same way again. Quick, no one tell Peter Parker.
You alright, Pete? Yeah. Because you look pale.
Their relationship is strained due to who the fuck cares, and we transition into the meat of the film. An older lady exits her car to go to work and gets followed by a masked man.
Don't touch anything, don't say anything, back up.
He does a terrible job at restraining her, just ordering her to move around while he snags whatever he fancies.
Get in the corner, or open it up. Get over in the corner. Come over here. Don't fucking move, all right? Get back in your corner. Get back in your fucking corner. Get back in your corner. Come over here, stand at the corner. Come over here. Don't move.
He continuously tells her how he's watching her, while not actually watching her, so she takes the opportunity to shoot him in the back. He responds in kind, but she gives him one back for his troubles, and launches him through the glass door. The guy in the getaway vehicle furiously drives off after he realizes what just happened, and drives straight to work to shoot an 80s porno movie or something. Oh, never mind, he's just some guy. He's so distressed that it causes us to jump back in time to 3 days before the robbery. The movie's gonna do these transitions a lot, by the way, so strap in. Porno stashes at his daughter's baseball game, and his brother, Andy, you know, the guy from the opening scene, insinuates he knows about his money problems. After bringing his daughter back home and bitching to his ex-wife about not having any money, he heads out to a bar and meets up with Andy again. And Andy has a proposition for him. They're gonna rob a place and make some fat stacks. He refuses to disclose where it is, but ensures Hank that it is a quote-unquote victimless crime and that everybody wins. Right. And the movie continues to tell us how badly this guy needs a payday. It seriously gets mentioned in every single scene for like the first 10 to 15 minutes. Yo, you got money problems? Hey, did you know you got money problems? Cause I know you got money problems. Just laying it on real thick. There's then an abrupt cut before Hank gives an answer, and he proceeds to walk off to do the nasty with Aunt May. These brothers now share blood, parents, and apparently a wife. And let me just say, there is so much unnecessary nudity at the start of this movie. Hank is just bare-ass in it, and do we really need to see Aunt May topless in 2 different scenes within the first 15 minutes? There's also a lot more on the way. Anyway, she repeats what we've already been spoon-fed.
Up to your ears in dead hand.
Hank's daughter wants her cut of his non-existent wages.
Since you work like a slave all day and don't have any time to enjoy your own money, can I have it?
And he finally cracks under the pressure. He visits Andy in his office, and this is basically how their conversation goes. Okay, I need money. Let's do this. Nice, we're robbing our parents' jewelry store. Wait, we can't do that. Yes, we can. Here's some cash. Alright, you make a good point. Now, with this money, he pays off some alimony, hires a guy to help steal from, you know, the people who gave him life and housed him for around 18 years, and rents a getaway vehicle. He then picks up the guy, introduces himself to a future witness, plays dress up, and chills in the car while the waiter does everything. And we all know what happens next. But this time we get to see it from Hank's perspective. The movie does this a lot, to be honest. They show a scene, they cut away from it, then later on we revisit the same scene but add a couple extra minutes or show it from someone else's point of view. The story is not in chronological order, so the timeline of events is a giant pain in the ass if you don't pay attention, which I did not do. Hank calls his brother, and we have another time jump to watch Andy's perspective leading up to the robbery. We find out he's been embezzling money from his work, he does drugs while at work, he does drugs after work. I think he might have a problem, guys. And probably also cheats on his taxes, I don't know, maybe. Point being, he's also in need of money. By the way, this scene right here is why this movie is so unbearable to watch. This is just a 3+ minute long one take of him slowly undressing, pouring himself a drink, and walking around the apartment. Just awful. Anyway, he shoots up, goes home to talk with his wife, and she's like, "Ah, I love you. I totally haven't not at all cheated on you with your brother." So everything in his life is just going great. The next day he approaches some black market dealer because he needs someone to sell his stolen goods to. "Here's my card in case anyone comes looking for me. Please also give them my address, my social security number, and my wife. Thank you." He then does his best Arnold impression.
I'll be back.
And proceeds to leave. Now this is when the movie starts to really lose my attention. Everything up until this point has been kind of bland and kind of hard to follow, but from here on out, practically every scene is in a different day, and time just passes willy-nilly. Their mom ends up in a hospital, to everyone's surprise, because she wasn't supposed to be working that day. It's all very sad, 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 sad. Their dad wants to find out what happened, the mom dies, there's a funeral, everyone's depressed, yada yada. Look, it's all very somber. Hey dude, you can't just skip over the mom dying like that. Yes I can, because it doesn't matter. Okay, I guess it does. It pushes a dad over the edge, but that's it. I don't feel anything when she dies because she's been a nothing character. I don't know who she is, and everyone around her is a horrible person. He's a prick, he's a dick, he's an ass, and she'll pass. Wait, they're not likable characters, and if I dislike them, I don't care what happens to them. Oh no, the mom I saw in 2 scenes earlier died. What tragedy. Oh no, the manipulative and abusive guy lost his mom. See? Nobody cares. The only one I sort of empathize with is Hank, and even he's a constant letdown to both his daughter and wife. Ex-wife? Whatever.
Well, it's $130, but we're staying overnight and that includes hotel and everything.
No.
Did someone say Dad of the Year? Not to mention, her death won't leave a lasting impact simply because of all the time mumbo jumbo. Here she's dead. Here she is, 20 minutes later, still in the hospital. Amazing. Anyway, after the incident, Hank quickly disposes of the car because, whoops, we just committed a major crime. Forgot about that. Might not want any evidence lying around. Then later on, he goes to the bar with Andy again. They do a quick rundown of potential problems because they don't want to connect it back to them and conclude that they're most likely safe. Great news, everyone. We made it out scot-free and now— Fuck! We left something in the car. I mean, it's fine. We can Fuck! And we're getting blackmailed. And our dad knows it was us. Alright then. Also, the reason Andy is so upset is because earlier he said that Hank had to do the job alone, which he obviously didn't. Such a kind brotherly bond they have. So Hank goes to get his belongings from the car, but the boss isn't there, so no can-do'sville, baby doll. Hank then leaves, he comes back, gets his stuff, and it never goes anywhere. It's just fake tension and completely pointless. And the timeline is such a mess, I don't even remember which day this was supposed to be. Is the mom still alive? Is she dead? Am I dead? A little bit on the inside, maybe. Did I mention there's a whole bunch of time skips? Okay, back to Andy. Him and his dad talk some shit, Daddy slaps him, and Andy storms off. While driving home, he gets into a big argument with Aunt May, and I really don't care. What's important, though, is that the relationship is beyond saving, and May decides to leave him. And this scene is actually pretty funny. She admits that she's been shacking up with his brother behind his back, and he's just cool as a cucumber. He is in fact so cool, he takes a nap mid-conversation.
Are you gonna say anything? I was just gonna go to my mother's.
How are you gonna get there?
Just gonna take a cab. Could really use some money.
Wait, what's going on? He lies down on the bed and feels utterly defeated, much like me watching this movie. And now, finally, things start to happen. Hank calls him up and he's like, "Yo, help, I'm getting blackmailed, come over." And being the older brother, I think, he grabs his gun and heads over to take care of business. At this point, his dad knows about their involvement in the robbery, so he casually follows them around. Andy picks up Hank, and after a bit of arguing, they do some breaking and entering.
Told you.
The boys are gathering quite the rap sheet. Could you imagine if they threw open the door and there was just this massive bodybuilder here instead of this 40-kilo kid? Now that's a fight I would have liked to see. They acquire all the money and valuables they can find, yell at each other for a bit more, then go to pay off Zod.
What do you say, Chris? Trust this guy?
Speak up! What?
Yes.
I don't think so.
I mean, kills Odd. Andy then turns to Hank and tells him he knows. Oh shit.
You won't let me?
No, no more. You either kill her or you're gonna have to kill me.
Not such a bad idea.
Whoa, 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 hey, 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 hey!
As Hank is about to get executed, Andy gets shot in the back and goes down for the 3 count. Hank uses this opportunity to run away, but not before throwing some cash on the floor, because that will make up for murdering her husband and brother. Speedy Gonzalez sprints out the building and hightails it out of the movie, never to be seen again. This is the last time we see him, so my headcanon is that he escaped the cops, started a family, and moved into a haunted house. Andy, on the other hand, ended up in the hospital, where he gets visited by his dad. The dad proceeds to mercy kill Andy, or revenge kill him if that's what you're into, and walks off into the distance as the movie ends. As much as I dislike this movie, I think that it has a fitting ending, and that is the one compliment I will give it. The whole movie is just filled with dread, pain, sadness, and the ending completely embodies that. There's no happy ending. Everyone's life has gotten worse. They're either dead or might as well be. The dad lost his entire family, Aunt May left her old life behind, Hank is on the run and abandoned those who needed him. They're all alone and their lives will never be the same. So yeah, tonally the ending works really well. However, that does not make up for how lackluster everything else was. Now, had this been a 20-minute short film, I would have been okay with that. It's fine. What I cannot tolerate is them stretching the thinnest of premises into a 2-hour-long movie. Seriously, if we're to actually think about it, what happens in this story after the botched robbery? We just spend a bunch of time watching the characters interact with each other until the ending, which is not at all interesting nor entertaining. They're all terrible people with stilted dialogue. I might as well be watching paint dry. It's just boring.
Boring, boring, boring.
What this movie needs is a more fleshed out story, better characters, better acting, about a pinch of salt, and an extra hour in the oven. Bloody delicious.
I mean, it's something crazy. That's why I called you up. Talk you to something crazy.
Now, if you're still here, then I just want to say that I appreciate every single view that my video gets. I have a finite number of minutes on this earth, and I just wasted them watching this Frankenstein's monster of a movie. But if you guys enjoyed it, it's all worth it. With that being said, I hate our truth, and I will never watch it again. If anybody gets that reference, we're homies for life, by the way. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, as I've got more content on the way.